Microsoft's Bing AI search just got caught actively promoting malware. On March 5th, researchers discovered that when users search for OpenClaw windows through Bing, the AI feature directly suggested a newly created malicious GitHub repository called OpenClaw-installer. The fake installer deployed infostealers and proxy malware instead of the legitimate AI assistant tool. This is the first major case of an AI search engine serving malicious content to users. And I mean, this really sucks for us users because now we search for legitimate developer tools. Microsoft's AI is confidently telling us to now download what looks like the real thing, and boom, you're infected. In this case, just simply hosting the malware on GitHub was enough to poison the search results and propel it to the top suggestion. Researchers confirmed attackers are abusing OpenClaw's popularity by seeding fake installers on GitHub, boosted by AI search results. And this is what happens when we rush into AI production without thinking things through, a security lens. So if you've used Bing AI to download anything, come on, you're using Bing. You should probably rethink any sort of life decisions you have, but also maybe consider scanning your machine for malware. Also look for unusual network activity. Maybe just consider a traditional search until Microsoft figures this out. All right, moving on to our next story. I've covered ZeroDayRAT a couple weeks back, but it's still making headlines. Most recently, it's because it's making waves in that it targets both Android and iOS devices, which is quite rare. Most mobile malware pretty much picks to one platform, but nope, ZeroDayRAT does not care what sort of phone you have. So security researchers announced this on March 7th, warning that the new malware has been found targeting, both platforms, stealing bank details and giving hackers access to infected devices, according to multiple news outlets. So if you're not familiar with ZeroDayRAT, it is a nasty, nasty piece of mobile malware. It can provide some very thorough reconnaissance information about the infected device, including make and model number, operating system, battery level, GPS location, lock status. Threat actors can also view the SIM and all sorts of carrier data, including phone numbers on dual SIM devices too. This is the really scary part. It can intercept text messages, it can log screenshots and log everything you type, including passwords. So how does one protect themselves that they don't catch themselves a new copy of ZeroDayRAT? Well, here's what you need to do. Only download apps from official app stores. Make sure that there's several thousand people that download it before you do. Also, enable two-factor authentication on all the apps that you actually give a damn about. Also, watch for unusual battery drainage or apps that are requesting excessive permissions. And frankly, never, ever click on links claiming to be from your bank, okay? Banks, they just don't do that, okay? They don't. Now, ZeroDayRAT, again, I said earlier, was a cross-platform threat. So it doesn't matter if you're Team Android or Team iPhone here. Everybody needs to be careful of ZeroDayRAT. Last story of the day. The EU Justice Advocate General just dropped an opinion that's going to change everything for banking security. On March 5th, Advocate General Anastasios Arantos issued a formal opinion in a case stating that banks must immediately refund account holders for unauthorized transactions, even when it's the customer's fault for falling for phishing. So what they're saying here is that banks cannot refuse immediate refunds merely by alleging gross negligence by the customer. Banks instead should refund phishing victims immediately following an unauthorized transaction report. Banks may then later seek recovery from the customer only if they prove intentional conduct or gross negligence. That's the legalese piece, but here's my take, and I don't know if you're going to like this, but I think this is stupid. I get it. Consumer protection sounds awesome and everything, but passing this sort of responsibility to banks when people fall for scams removes all accountability. If there's no consequence for clicking a link that says that your account is suspended, click here immediately. People will never learn, right? Banks will have to eat every loss from every idiot who hands over their password to a Nigerian prince, and we know that's not going to happen. They're going to pass that cost to everyone else through fees instead. Yeah, the solution isn't making banks responsible for users' stupidity. It's educating people to not fall for obvious scams and building better fraud detection. But, when you click yes and send all my money to the stranger, that's on you. It's personal responsibility, folks. And that's what matters in cybersecurity. If this ruling incentivizes carelessness, that's really dangerous for everybody. So that about sums up today's stories. This is Andy Thompson signing off.